Hi guys, this is Anyia here. Hope you're all doing well. Another quick video here that should hopefully help you explain how to solve some of the word problems that you get this week. So I've got my PowerPoint over here and I'm going to go through some of the slides that will hopefully help you understand one method of setting your working out. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the bar model method. Don't worry, it looks a little bit more confusing than it really is. But basically, it's just a way of visualizing and representing the problem using bars, which is like little boxes basically, and then you can use that to figure out what the actual problem means. So sometimes you're given a problem where you have a part and then you need to work out the original number, or sometimes you're given a total and you need to work backwards and things like that. So, but don't worry, I'm going to go through some examples which should hopefully make it clearer for you. So let's say our problem starts with 4 children going to the cinema, and I'm going to use these boxes to represent each of the 4 children. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're told that they each pay £15. So we've got £15 each child pays to go to the cinema. Now the question is how much they spend altogether. Now, because I've set my boxes out like this, I know that in order to work it out all together, I need to add each of those 15s together to get the total spend. So I could do repeated addition. So I could do 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15. Or because I know they're each the same number, I can use multiplication. So 15 times by 4 will get me the answer of how much they spend altogether. So we do 4 times 15 equals 60. And therefore they've spent £60 altogether on their cinema tickets. Okay, so that's one way that we can use the bar model method. Yep, where we are given the number of parts, given the value of each part, and we can use that to work out a missing number. Right, another way that you might use bar model method. So same situations, we've got 4 children that go to cinema, but this time we're told the total amount. We're told that they spend £60, and what we are asked to work out is how much do they each spend. So here we have the total amount and we have 4 parts. So to work out each part, and that's that clue, every time we see each in a problem, it normally corresponds to dividing. So if we divide our £60 between 4, so share that equally between the 4 children, we can actually work out how much each child spent. So we do 60 divided by 4 equals 15. And we saw that in the original question, so that must be right. Okay, so that's another way that sometimes we can use a bar model method to work out our problems. So, and another way that sometimes questions are phrased, we have tickets to the cinema cost £15. So we've got, that's my one cinema ticket, £15. And this time instead, we're told that a group of children, so we don't know how many children. So sometimes you're told something in a problem, but you don't know how many parts there are. And we're told that altogether they pay £60. So basically what we now need to work out is how many of those 15s will make that 60. So again, we need to work out how many 15s, so how many parts there are to that problem, how many children went to the cinema that day. And so we can work that out by looking at how many 15s are in 60, which is 4, as we saw in the previous problem. So 4 children went to the cinema. So again, a different type of problem where you don't know how many parts there are, or how many times an item has been bought. Sometimes you see that in problems, and that's another way of working it out. So those were quite straightforward one-step problems. I'm going to have a look now at how we can relate this to a kind of SATs level question. So here we have a bag of 5 lemons that costs £1, and a bag of 4 oranges that costs £1.80. And the question is, how much more does 1 orange cost than 1 lemon? So I'm going to let you pause the video here, and if you want to have a go, get a bit of paper, and you can either use the bar model method or you can use any other method you can think of to work this out. Pause it and unpause when you've got the answer, and we can see if it's the same as mine. Okay, so here we've got a problem where we need to work out how much more something costs than something else. So basically, before we can do any of that, we need to work out how much each piece of fruit costs individually. So I use my bar model method to represent each bag of fruit. So here we've got my bag of lemons. So the whole bag costs £1, and we know we've got 5 parts. Yep, 5 equal parts. So in order to work out 1 part, so 1 lemon, we need to do the £1, and we need to divide that by 5. Okay, so we do £1, which is 100 pence, divided by 5, gets you an answer of 20p. So each lemon costs 20p. We do the same for the bag of oranges. So we've got our bar model representing our bag of oranges. So we've got £1.80, and this time we've got 4 oranges. So again, we need to do division to work out each part. So £1.80 divided by 4 this time, and that's going to get us an answer of 45p. But we have to be careful, make sure that we don't stop here, because we haven't actually answered the original question. So the original question is asking us how much more does 1 orange cost than 1 lemon. So in order to work out the difference between these 2 prices, the last thing we need to do is a subtraction. So we need to do 45p, take away 20p to get an answer of 25p. Hopefully you got that answer as well. Okay, we're going to look at one last problem before letting you go. Slightly trickier this time. So Lara had some money. She spent £1.25 on a drink. She spent £1.60 on a sandwich. She has 3/4 of her money left. How much money did Lara have to start with? So again, I'm going to let you pause it here. Get some notes, scribble down your problem, use bar model method or any other working out you can, and then unpause and join back with me to see if you got the answer. Right, so first of all, we don't know how much money Lara had to begin with. So she's gone into the shop. We don't know how much money was in her purse, but we know that once she's bought her 2 items, that she has 3/4 of her money left. So the red box represents the amount of money that she spent on those 2 items, and the green boxes represent how much she has left. So we can see I've split the unknown amount into 4 equal parts, and I did that because the question tells me that she has 3/4 of her money left. Okay, so that means that I can divide my unknown amount into quarters, into 4. So my green section represents the amount of money she has left, and the red section represents how much she actually spent. So in order to work out how much she spent, I need to look at the 2 numbers that I've been given in the problem, which is £1.25 on a drink and £1.60 on her sandwich. Now, if I add those 2 together, I can work out how much she has spent, which is £2.85. So that means that if I go back to my first bar model, that the 1/4 that we didn't know originally is actually £2.85. Now, if 1/4 is £2.85, it means that all the other quarters are also £2.85. That's where the bar model really helps us visually represent that. Really, it helps us to see what each part was actually worth. Now, if each part is worth £2.85, then again, going back to some of the other strategies we used before, we know that if we either repeatedly add £2.85 4 times, or we multiply £2.85 by 4, then we can get the answer of the amount of money Lara had in her purse to begin with, which is £11.40. So we do £2.85 times 4 to get £11.40. Right, hopefully that was really clear and visual, that you guys can understand, and you'll be able to apply the bar model method to solving some of the word problems that you've been given. Right, so that's Mrs. Anyia signing out. Hope to see you guys soon. Miss you loads, and speak to you soon. Bye.